Hi there, this is Natalia, and welcome to the Just in Time Post Show. It is Tuesday, May 20, 2025, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw, but I'm not alone. Joining me for this review is the Michael 101591.
How you guys doing? So thank you for having me on for once again.
Of course, always a pleasure having you. All right, so let's kick things off talking about this Money in the Bank qualifying matches. The first one was Natalia versus Becky Lynch versus Roxanne Perez, with Roxanne Perez being first official match as a member of the Raw roster. I have to say, I think she hung in there pretty well with Becky and Natty. Roxanne Perez wins after she hits the Pop Rocks to Natty, and Lyra Valkyria cost Becky Lynch this match.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a solid match.
Oh yeah, same here. This was definitely a solid match. I really like that that superplex that Roxanne did to Natty, and then Natty did the
sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter to her. I also like when she did the double sharpshooter to Becky into Roxanne. And then there was this one spot where Roxanne did like this what is it, like the power bomb, I think, or like a power bomb, and then Natty had the German suplex to Natalia to Becky. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And but obviously knew that Roxanne Perez was going to win it.
Oh, same. Yeah, same here. I think that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, because I'm like, Natalia being in the match, I was like, why is she in the match though? But yeah, Roxanne Perez, her first Money in the Bank match that she's heading into. After she signed a full main roster contract with Monday Night Raw. So now we know why they split up her and Julia.
Yeah. Did they team for a bit in NXT?
I think they did, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, whatchamacallit, we have the second women's qualifying match. It's Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane versus Zoey Stark. So this was Kairi Sane's first match back. Now it's
December. She's been out since December, I think.
Yeah, she has. It's very unfortunate that Zoey Stark did suffer an injury here during this match.
Yeah, that was brutal.
She did a missile, I think it was a missile drop kick, and Kairi Sane was, I guess, someone botched. I don't know if it was Zoey or if it was Kairi, but somebody botched this.
It was Kairi.
Kairi, yeah. She botched.
I guess when she was going for the missile drop kick, she was way too far out. And then you kind of heard Zoey Stark, call Kairi, and then she laid that missile drop kick, and then her knee just kind of twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard her, screaming in pain.
Yeah. So this becomes a 1-on-1 match after Zoey Stark is removed from the match and Rhea Ripley picks up the win. I would like to think that Kairi Sane wasn't supposed to take the pin in this match because this was the first match back. I think it would have been Zoey Stark, but unfortunately, she got hurt. So
yeah. But this is a bad injury for Zoey Stark, and I think that she's going to be out for a while. And I don't know. This is probably going to lead to maybe her getting released when she comes back because they have nothing for Zoey Stark to do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate, but what happens with that? So speedy wishes to Zoey Stark.
Recovery.
Which match did you like better? Between this match or the first women's match?
I liked this match better with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And Zoey Stark. Yeah, I thought this was better. It was a solid match. So, another solid match.
Yeah, for sure. I like the I kind of like the Natalia, Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez one a little bit more. But I felt like both matches were kind of predictable as to who was going to win.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, we all knew who were going to win both matches.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Monday Night Raw kicked off with the Logan Paul segment. He's just basically talking about Jey Uso and about how he's supposedly going to beat him at Saturday Night's Main Event. He gets interrupted by Gunther. And basically, like, Gunther starts talking about how, like, Logan Paul is a self-made social media star, about how he has entrepreneurship and being world champion is great for business. But he basically lets Logan Paul know that beating Jey for the world title is personal, and if Logan Paul takes the world title, he will take it as disrespect. So he promises to eat Logan Paul alive on June 9th should he be world champion. And then as he's walking away, Jey Uso attacks Logan Paul from behind and tells Logan Paul he will see him on Saturday and tells Gunther he will see him in Phoenix. So this was an okay opening segment.
I thought this opening segment was saved thanks to Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
And Gunther was coming off a little like a tweener here. Like he's in between being a heel and a baby face.
Yeah, he did.
And of course, Jey Uso getting his revenge on Logan Paul because Logan Paul laid out Jey Uso like 3 times.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, speaking of Jey Uso, he goes backstage. He finds Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman basically gives him some facts and says that so he won't be accused of being accused of betraying Jey. He tells him that Bron Breakker isn't looking for a world title shot, but to slow down Jey's momentum, and the long-term plan is for the world title is for Seth Rollins to win.
Can we just say the opening segment with Logan Paul and this when they mention fact, this fact that, it'll be a good drinking game every time they end up saying fact.
Take a shot every time Paul Heyman says fact.
Yeah, and when Logan Paul end up saying that too. just go take a drink every time that they mention fact. I said that in my review as well.
Yeah. All right. Next, we got a tag team match. It's Penta and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day in the form of Finn Balor and JD McDonagh. This was actually a really fun opening match.
This was, in my opinion, the best match of the night.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This was better than the main event.
I agree.
But I really like that Spanish fly that Penta did to JD. That was really cool. The Mexican Destroyer to JD on the outside.
That was good.
And then Judgment Day ends up winning after El Grande Americano headbutts Penta. So obviously this is building to some type of match between Penta and El Grande Americano, or some type of luchadores versus El Grande Americano type thing here.
It's going to happen at Worlds Collide.
Oh, yeah.
Which this one's going to be in attendance for Worlds Collide.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be in attendance for Worlds Collide. It should be fun.
You'll be there and at Money in the Bank.
I'm going to have to run. You're going to have to run.
Because how long is it from where Worlds Collide is to Money in the Bank?
It's actually not that far. It's like, according to Google Maps, it's a 20-minute walk, 24-minute walk. About like maybe 6 minutes drive, like 12 minutes on the bus, but it really depends on traffic though.
Yeah, LA
There's
traffic.
There's going to be a lot of traffic, so.
Of course, it's LA traffic.
We'll see.
But yeah, so a lot of people are like, oh, well, is Penta being buried? No. This is all leading up to him and probably Ray Phoenix teaming back up at Worlds Collide, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be Ray Phoenix and Penta taking on El Grande Americano and Chad Gable, and probably another partner of his choosing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. All right, so next we get an Iyo Sky interview, and she's basically talking about Money in the Bank. You know, she's got experience with Money in the Bank, and she gets interrupted by Becky, and Becky tells her she already put one champion down, and she could put down another one. So then after this, we get another Logan Paul segment, and he's talking on the phone with Seth Rollins, interrupts him, and Seth Rollins basically tells Logan Paul that if he beats Jey Uso, he needs to thank him because it's pretty much going to be them because of them that Logan Paul wins. And then maybe he suggests that maybe they run it back a bit. And then you see Nudie in the back walking and talking to Greyson Waller. So what are your thoughts on these two segments here?
I thought, it was, pretty okay with Iyo Sky and stuff with Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. The question is, will Logan Paul be the third man with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker? Get that little group going along with Paul Heyman. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be Logan Paul. I wish it would be Drew McIntyre because it makes sense. But if it's Logan Paul, then I'm like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. So we get another Jey Uso segment, and Sammy approaches him backstage and says he will take care of Ron, Heyman, and Breakker on Saturday, and that he's got Jay's back. So I thought that was interesting, especially Sammy plays a part in the main event. We get an Alpha Academy segment, and it's official for next week. It's Akira Tozawa versus Rusev.
Gonna be the greatest squash match ever.
Chad Gable interrupts and basically says that he hopes Rusev ends his career like he did to Otis, and basically asks for him about qualifying matches for him and Ivy Nile, and just goes to show how little control Adam Pearce has for his Raw locker room, because New Day interrupts and Adam Pearce fears no one knocks anymore.
That's why we all say that Nick Aldis is the best GM on SmackDown.
Remember on SmackDown LA night, almost hit the bloodline with the chair, and Nick Aldis was out there to stop him before Chaos erupted. Adam Pearce would wait until after the Chaos erupted to go out there.
Exactly. Now you know who has better control on their shows.
Mm-hmm. This was an okay segment. It's just, furthering the storyline with Chad Gable and the New Day.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's gonna be Rusev and Akira Tozawa. I'm like, to me, is this the best that you got for Rusev since he returned?
Right? Like, he left AEW and came back, and he's feuding with Alpha Academy. All right, so you get Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. This was actually a pretty decent match. The crowd was behind Austin Theory, and he wasn't even in this match.
Decent? Say it was a banger match.
It was a banger after banger after banger.
And I was kind of shocked that Austin Theory was getting over with the crowd there.
And one of the things that's kind of like annoying me is this stop teases of the breakup between Grayson Waller and Austin. Yeah, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I feel like they've teased it multiple times already, and they stopped it and they continue to tease it. So if we're gonna head to the breakup, like, let's just head to the breakup. Like, no more stops.
It's like they're stalling.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they don't know when they want to do it at.
Yeah. Okay. So, but this was a decent match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And Sheamus was victorious. No surprise there.
No surprise.
Yeah, we get a Tyrese Hilborn segment. I don't know what the point of this is, but we did learn that if the Pacers win, Michael Cole will win a tank top, and if the Knicks win, Pat will wear a suit. I hope the Knicks win. I'm not a basketball fan. I'm not familiar with these teams, but I hope the Knicks win.
Pretty much, basically, they revealed that he is a downloadable player for WWE 2K25, and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah. So we get a Gunther. Well, we're supposed to get a Gunther interview, but we get more of a segment. Ron tells Gunther that it's been a while since they've had the same space, and Gunther tells Ron he heard about the long-term plans. Rollins says that if he does win the world title, he'll be treated no differently than anyone else and will be considered our target. And Gunther says he can't wait for it and is eagerly waiting for it. So interesting segment between Rollins and Gunther. I definitely do think that we might see a match between them. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon because I think that Rollins would be the one to take the title off of Jey Uso, which would explain why Gunther would be a babyface because Seth Rollins is a heel.
Because then we're going to get the return of Goldberg, and he's going to be facing Gunther at in Saudi at Night of Champions.
Exactly.
That's where this is going. I think maybe we might see Goldberg at Saturday night's main event.
We'll see.
Yeah, the next PLE is Night of Champions.
Yeah. So we get a judgment. So after this, we get a Judgment Day segment, and surprise, surprise, who joins the clubhouse? Roxanne Perez, and look at that smile on Finn Balor's face. So she hands Dominic a box of chicken nuggets and a Carlito a bag of apples. And I feel like this is all a part of Finn Balor's plan. I think he might he's trying to break up Liv and Dom and trying to cause chaos within the Judgment Day.
Yeah, but Roxanne is not officially yet part of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I don't think she is. I think it's just a plan from Finn Balor. Because remember, he is mad that Dom stole the IC title from him.
Yeah, but what Natalia said, this is going to be leading to a match between Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez to see who really likes Dom.
Dominic on a forklift match.
Dominic on a pole match, or Dominic in a shark cage match.
Again.
Yeah.
Okay. So the main event ends up being Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker. Honestly, I like the ending more so than the match itself. I did notice Sami Zayn seemed to kind of stall. I don't know if that was intentional or maybe if they took too long to play CM Punk's music, but it did look kind of awkward right there. So I don't know if that was intentional on Sami Zayn's part or if they just took a little while to hit Punk's music. But and then the brawl breaks out, and Logan Paul once again knocks out Jey Uso, and that is how Monday Night Raw goes off the air. So, what were your thoughts on this?
I thought the main event was pretty good. Won to disqualification, of course, because of Seth Rollins. Like, obviously, I knew that Seth Rollins was going to come out there either way. And it's going to lead to Sami Zayn coming out, CM Punk. Got to get a whole brawl to end the show, and Logan Paul coming out there. That was kind of unexpected considering he got laid out by Jey earlier in the night. So he ended up laying out Jey, and then you saw his tooth bleeding from the super kick from Jey earlier in the night. So, yeah, but Jey Uso and Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event, not interested in it because we all know who's going to retain the title. At that on Saturday. But who knows? It could be a good match.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious who's retaining them there. All right, so I guess that's it. On a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, what would you rank tonight's? What would you rank Raw?
I rank it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good show last night. Not great or perfect by any means, though, but got some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I'd give this a 6.5. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't that great either.
Yeah. It could be better than what we're going to see on Dynamite later on tonight.
Right. All right. So where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me at my channel here, Michael101591. I do WWE reviews, Raw, SmackDown, PLEs. I do movie reviews, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K updates. I have old school commercials on my channel, so come and check that out. Also, I do a podcast called the Bell Call Podcast. We haven't done a new episode in a few weeks, though. I do it with my co-host Noah Kaser. So check out the episodes that we did on my channel. Of course, Natalia pops up from time to time. It's been a while since she's been on my channel, so definitely come over to my channel if you like it. Definitely give it a subscribe, and my Monday Night Raw review from last night is up, so check that out as well.
All right, and as for you, you guys can catch me on Twitter at @the_I_talk. Raw, SmackDown, occasionally AEW Dynamite, of course, TNA Wrestling. I try to go live every Monday, occasional Wednesday, Fridays, Saturdays, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. I know my schedule's been a little wonky and really off as of late, but I'm trying my best. Let me know if you guys prefer the Monday Night Raw reviews on Monday night, or if you guys prefer them Tuesdays. Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. If the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you know whenever I go live or whenever I release a new video. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah.